Hey everybody, Daryl Davey here with Oaken Hollow Games, and it is the end of the 2023 year season, and I'm just here to do a little bit of a recap with everybody, and kind of go over some of the things that we have done, and maybe some of the plans we have for next year, and just chat with whoever may stroll in. As always, it's been a little bit between these things, so I figured I'd give a hello and, wish everybody a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Trevor. Thanks for stopping in. I hope everything's going well. So I guess... Oh, Katie, hello. Hi, welcome in. Good to see you. Happy New Year's. So, again, just doing a little bit of a recap for the end of the year here. My girls are busy upstairs playing, and... we're just kind of doing a chill New Year's ourselves anyways. We're never big New Year's folks for plans. So I just go over some of the stuff I might be doing down here too. But so this year really has been the year of skirmish. From start to finish. I did a quick recap of some of the things that, posts we had made here or things that I had, photos I had taken, and... around this time last year, I was just starting on two things. Hey, Lily, how's it going? And that was the art for All Hallows Eve Graveyard Smash. I was doing the first few concept... Oh, Chris, hello! Boy, lots of folks. Awesome. I was doing the first concept art for the Graveyard Smash. So it was some of the Zeds eating the trick-or-treaters, and maybe a couple of trick-or-treater art as well. And looking back, I had seen that the tokens I was making for Skirmish at the time, if you go back and look at the other videos, you can see the process, but we were planning on printing gray resin for all of the pieces, and how exactly that was going to work on a production scale, where I wasn't quite confident enough to switch into different resin use for the 3D printer, because I wasn't sure if it had different curing points or how it would work, and to the expenses for that, if it would be cost effective to do it in that regard or what. So at this time last year, I had printed out all of the pieces for Skirmish, and no problem not needing to. I'm glad you showed up for when you did. Happy New Year's. But I had spray painted all of my pieces, and I think I had is either convention for the library coming up, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but I wanted a table ready showing of Skirmish. So I decided, I was going to try and spray paint and just see how it looked. And truthfully, it wasn't all that bad. At the end of the day, it's still probably not the way I would have wanted to go, but had we needed to, it would have sufficed. The only thing I would have had to figure out is, throughout that summer, is I learned that it got hotter and they'd get tacky, so they kind of stick to each other, and little bits would come here or there, you just declump them. But, I mean, those pieces still, to this day, they're looking pretty great, and that gloss was really nice. And then we had switched over to trying out the colored resins. It was a money investment that I was a little bit nervous at the time to dive into, just because buying 4 or 5 different color resins and then not having to use them could have been problematic. But fortunately, I had other things I could have done with them, and I talked to some folks, and they dissuaded me of my fears, and I'm glad that we did. And it actually allowed to open up for a few things, which I'll talk on here. But then the question was that, okay, we don't need to spray paint them, we can use this as now how to do it. And there was talk on, I wanted the team bases were the reason why they all needed to be a different color. The characters themselves, I was fine with being grayscale, but at the time we thought maybe each team gets a set of colored pieces, so we didn't need the team tokens, but then you're doing just an astronomical amount of pieces just to do that, like 2 sets in each color for each game. It would not only drive the price up, it'd just be a lot of needless pieces, because you're only ever using 12 on a standard 4-player game. So Just not, or, yeah, 12. Math isn't great for me. Anyways, and we thought, well, then maybe some pieces work together where the ones that deal with dice are a certain color, the ones that are more, have range are a different color. And I still kind of didn't like that idea just for a quick at-glance, knowing what is what. But there's always, like, an oddball in each one. And then, because of Rob and Josh and Phil, we ended up adding in 2 new characters at the very last minute. Like, I was getting things ready to start print runs, and they're like, oh, how about these 2 new pieces? I'm like, I gotta do all this retesting and recalibrating and thinking and all this stuff. So we ended up taking that time then to test those 2 new characters, which helped out because that helped me take a moment to step back and reestablish the board, reestablish some of the box art and how I wanted to do that stuff. So way back at the beginning of last year, that's where we were starting, was trying to figure out those color problems for Skirmish. And then with All Hallows Eve having sold, at that point it's over like 200 copies of it being sold, I wanted to start up on an expansion for it, besides, just a miniature one, like some more stuff. So that's when I started the art for Graveyard Smash, and it didn't get very far. Part of it was just in my head. I wasn't in the mood to do it at the time. I couldn't force myself to do that kind of stuff. I needs to be kind of in the mood for it. So I didn't. And that's okay, because it let me, again, it was like a 4 or 5 months. I'd have to check the pictures, but it was a very, very long time from the first sketch I did to when I started trying again, because that's a time-consuming process of hand sketching, inking, scanning, and then going in, removing all the white, touching up the black stuff, and then coloring in all the stuff, and then card layout, blah 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 blah. So it's time-consuming. Watching the product at the end looks really great, and so that's kind of where we started the year off. We had also just made the world map for both promotional stuff and for when we're out or we want to set up a game really quick. The world map was made, and that's been really sweet with people owning houses. We can do call-outs and we do live streams. We've only got to use it a few times. Hey, Casey, how's it going? But I'm really glad that we got that going, because it makes that setup time that much faster for when we go places. We used it for the Halloween live show as well. So those sort of little life hacks, I guess, if you will, I really wanted to start getting in. And it's a complete disaster right now because we had family over, and the whole workshop and side room were all used for folks coming over, so everything got thrown in my workshop. But that's a good thing. So now we can start talking about where we're going to be going. Is I want to do a shop overhaul. I've been wanting a new table for a little while, something more sturdy. I've just been using a fold-out one. For me, it would just make me feel a little bit more professional having a sturdier table, and B, it's not, I want something just more solid. There's a lot of shaking going on. There's a lot of stuff as I'm cleaning and doing stuff that I think, as I look this year, that's my biggest get that I'm hoping to move forward to, is a nice table. So looking at dimensions for that and sizes. So I'll be doing a little bit of that, and then just kind of reorganizing the game room itself. I think I'm turning some of my drawers into card storage for other games, Magic, Digimon, Pokemon that I play. Some X-Wings need some space to live. Just decluttering a little bit. But yeah, so through that, we got through going back to where we had been. We got the colors arranged for Skirmish. And like I said, about 5 months later, we started working on the art for Graveyard Smash. And then we were able to get Skirmish from those kind of questions, adding new characters, to being sold within that same time span. I got it out in the summer, which was the goal. It was an anniversary for when I originally, really, really long time ago, thought of Skirmish. It was one of the first games that I had wanted to make an actuality, like try at making a board game. It was the first, if you will, of what Oak and Hollow games became to be, or finally became. Anyway. And it was really nice to tie it up on that anniversary and start selling. And we are now officially sold out. I think there's a few copies left at Gameplay Stay, but on my end here, the question now is, do we start up a new batch run, or do we work on some new stuff? I've talked on that in my last video a little bit, and I think the answer is a bit of both. Pick one of our smaller projects and start going from there, because I mean, All Hallows Eve is a bigger, bulkier game at a higher price point, and that sold well enough over the last couple of years, so I want to make sure that Skirmish has that chance to thrive and survive, because it is more of a family game. I think more people overall will enjoy it, so I want to have some of those on stock. So that's going to be doing that, but getting the shop reordered, jumping into that, and then now that, as of tonight, the holiday seasons are over, we're going to finally be able to start diving back into at least bi-weekly game nights, and I'll be able to put more focus in on Oak and Hollow games again. It's just been a very busy time since September started till now, so a good 4 months, whatever. Yeah, it's been too long. I need to get back at the table and make some stuff. And yeah, so that's kind of Iris. Hello, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. So that's kind of where we had been. We did that. We got Skirmish out and rolling. So within a year of like just those finalizing details of what we're going to do to make the box, to production, to sold out within, well, a year span is really, really awesome as a designer. I have to remember that, because sometimes I'm in that, like, I need to keep getting stuff out mode instead of just enjoying where I'm at in the process right now, which is currently Skirmish and starting to play test some new games. So that's what we've done. The site has grown incredibly. I'm not even sure if this had started within a year. I think I started sometime during the summer. So, this is slowly growing and people are coming and showing interest, and I love that. It's been a really big year of growth for the company. Adding in Phil as well as a partner and getting that whole thing set up, legal paperwork, so whatever. I need to find out all the ins and outs of that, but being able to share this kind of space with somebody else and get those games going has been awesome and instrumental to what we're doing. And then, yeah, just moving forward now. So what does next year hold? As I've said, probably a reprint of Skirmish. I do that its justice. I think the reason I am so hesitant to start again is it's a ton of work to make that game. I don't know truly what the difference is between that and All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Eve certainly has more moving parts with cards and dice and all these other things I need. Well, different types of dice and blah, 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 figures. I don't know what it is. But I have been hesitant to, just boot those printers up and print a little bit each day and start knocking away at it. But again, since September, I've been insanely busy, and now is the time to knuckle down and do it, because those printers can always be running in the background while I'm working on other stuff. So that's the start. Then we are still trying to nail down what our next launch is going to be. Graveyard Smash is coming out. I'm gotta get into box stuff for it, and there's a few cards that I realized while doing the art that scaled weird with my test print. That's why we do it. We order a test run, we play with it a few times, people go, oh, this looks weird, that's worded weird. Phil is still convinced the monsters need a little bit of testing. I don't know how much in either way we can take them without a complete overhaul, which is not what I want to do, but we want to make them work. So I'm allowing myself until fall is when we're going to hopefully relaunch that, unless we feel like it can come out sooner than that. But I'll probably wait till a fall launch to co-align again with all Halloween and whatnot. And then maybe by that point we'll have a couple more copies of All Hallows Eve printed up, because that's almost gone as well. I think I have like 2 copies of the final print remaining, so might have to do a small run of that as well to keep up with that. But that's coming up, 10 months from now. It probably started at the end of summer printing it and whatnot. But regardless, so that, another batch of Skirmish, and then I'm thinking it's probably going to be Capture the Flag is going to be what you will be seeing us talking a lot about next. Game helped being designed by some of the students at schools, and I play with the kids a lot, just kind of like where the edge is off, and that's where it started. We haven't really done it. We've been doing other things at school for that, but that's where it originated, and it's a game by kids for kids in that lieu of playground games, which may be kind of a subcategory that we start introducing as well, and we can get to that in future videos. But something that's light, easy, can be played anywhere, and we're hoping to have a very small footprint for a game, so it can be thrown in a backpack if you're going out on a hike, or you're taking it out camping, so a little more rugged in those regards. And that game truly shouldn't take a whole lot, but I want to play test it to make sure that it works, and it's already working. But I want to make sure it's fun, it's interesting, it's something people want to keep bringing back out, seeing what we need, and running into anything else. And it's going to work as a small miniatures war game. The subtext might even be Capture the Flag, my first war game, because a lot of the skills that go into things like X-Wings or Warhammer or any of that where it's measuring distance and different actions and that kind of stuff are very, very watered down in it, but are there as kind of like a starting guide to see if it's maybe a part of the hobby that you would be interested in doing. So, and again, all the stuff that comes with that, packaging design, printing models on the playtesters page, just a little more of a private thing, and I don't spam everything on this main page. We've been going over some of the piece design for Capture the Flag, seeing if we go in a new direction or if we kind of keep my Candy People approach with it. We've had some satisfactory results on both ends, so yeah, you'll be hearing and seeing a lot more, I believe, of Capture the Flag. We could pivot into Plunder at any time, and I'm always itching to be working on Gotcha Ninja. But again, as I've said, the artwork on Plunder is what's holding us back, and the playtesting amounts for Gotcha Ninja, we just haven't had a lot of testers yet, and time to test. So that'll be coming up. But I believe, like I said, Capture the Flag should be next, so I would expect that out sometime this year as well. Or at least test it enough so by this time next year I could be saying, hey, we're going to launch the New Year's with Capture the Flag, and it's going to be great. So time will tell. There's a chance we are getting a new, bigger printer, which means production goes a lot faster, makes that a lot easier. With the 2 side printers, we'd be able to run 2 different colors while that one's printing like all the tokens and pieces for Skirmish or All Hallows Eve, and that will really speed things up quite a bit. If that comes to fruition, like I said, a new table. So if you see anything sitting outside and it looks like a big sturdy table, that'd be great for a workbench that I can hammer on and I can clean up and it can be a mess, PM me. I would love any tips. But yeah, just something about stomach height, so about 3 feet high, 3.5 feet high, and probably 5-ish feet wide. I gotta see, my current table is like 2.5 by 8, and it allows me to have a large space, but I might not need as much. So the ends are kind of junk collectors, and I could probably rearrange stuff there a little bit. And I'm itching to get that done. I've been watching a lot of Adam Savage's videos in his workshop, and he's been going over a whole new rehaul of his shop, and anytime I just get sucked into it, and I'm like, yep, nope, he's doing it. Sounds like a great idea. I'm going to do it. It makes a lot of sense. And it's been something that's kind of been on my mind anyways, and then it just happened to be there too, so that doesn't help that itch to not do it. So, yeah. So hopefully some new stuff, some continuation of things that we've already had. I would hope sometime this year that Capture the Flag is out, which I could see it being a bench we hit pretty easily. And then this fall having Graveyard Smash. So those of you who own a copy of All Hallows Eve will have something new to do this Halloween season. But that said, if there's anything that we have mentioned, I believe I put a list up before, I've talked about it, a project that we've said that you're interested in that maybe I haven't brought up or we've mentioned once and I said, oh yeah, that's on the back burner. I've got a list of different games on the back burner. Hostile Hospitality might be one that I kind of start putting some cards up for, or Monsters, Aliens, and Mechs might be another one that we start diving into a little. I'm not entirely sure. We've got so many all the time. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? Welcome in. So, yeah, we've got all sorts of plans and stuff, and maybe it's the end of the year. Hold on. You're going to see PJs, but no, here, I'll walk you with me here. I'm going to take this last year's list off, and I'm going to read some of the stuff because maybe I'll be able to take off a little bit of what was on that list. So let's journey through this together and see what I've gotten accomplished in the year. So one of these first pages, these were stuck up on my whiteboard. I have a big board that says how many things I'm printing currently, where we're at in the print run, what needs to be coming up, things I need to remember. And then tacked to it was this big list of hopes and dreams and priorities of stuff. So started with high priority, skirmish, rule book, look over the rules layout, box size, box inserts, playmat size. Do we need colored resin? See, that's what I was saying. That's how that year started. Is are we even going to run with colored resin? So even a year ago, 3D figures for Geist. Oh, that was the thing. I didn't even have a character concept for Geist. So that was something that was new this year too, that I knew how I wanted Geist to work, and Geist has been a character for a while. I just didn't have any recollection of how I wanted to make him look. So box art, boxes, tiles, playtests. The rule book, there might be a small ender card, but that's not it. But, yeah, so those both, check, 2 high priority things off. Graveyard Smash is almost that. That's a secret one, this next one. I can't tell you about that, because guy hasn't got back to me, but there was possibly another All Hallows Eve monster coming out this year, so you know who you are. Get a hold of me, we'll get that going. Plunder, card art, types of pirate clothes, scoring, finishing, game rules, rulebook, layout, art. Plunder didn't, we got a couple playtests, very, very positive ones. Didn't get a whole lot of traction besides Phil put a lot of work into getting a print and play ready, and we got some stuff out, and it's running smooth, but same problems as we were having last year. A second Trick or Treater expansion set. That one didn't come. That might not. The Skirmish costume set for All Hallows Eve, we did get that. Monsters, Mechs, and Aliens is a low priority because that's a huge commitment. That's going to be maybe something we even get stuff down and see what we can do elsewhere with it. Cabin Fever's low priority. These ones I'll kind of go over and see. So Cabin Fever, Safety Shark, Trick or Treater expansion set 3, double features. So the Drive-In, Silent Night, all of those are all on pretty low priority list because we know those are, pushed out in the future. Probably one. Hey, Leo. Probably just one All Hallows Eve project a year is more than enough for me to handle and keep that kind of going without burning people out while still giving some tasty stuff. So again, Safety Shark, double feature, so Drive-In, so that'd be like Blot and Murder Burger, Silent Night with Krampus and Flurry, some back burner stuff, All Hallows Eve Realms Beyond, so additional tiles and locations. Maybe some monsters have some bonuses for being on those squares. That's on the back burner priority list, something that we've talked about. Back burner, usually stuff we've talked about enough that it's important that I keep track of it, but probably not something that we're going to be working on within the next couple of years. Double feature Invasion, maybe with a kaiju and an alien. Fun concepts, how to make them original and different, things that are opposed to other monsters. Just something that's really on the back burner. Candy bags, some new candy cards. Each set usually comes with some candy cards, but just one that offers more. That's just an expansion purely for that. Monster Hunter, Skater, Officer, Haunted Garage, Aerial Lift Bridge, all Hallows Eve ideas that are on the back burner are not available right now if we're even going to do them, for especially the Haunted Garage would be a tie-in with what me and my friend Justy do on Halloween. An Aerial Lift Bridge, I'm not sure. Dice Monsters, we spoke a little bit on. I don't think that's probably going anywhere. It will more than likely, the concept will get conglomerated into something new that me and Phil have been talking about a bit, but that's like peak endgame stuff. So Capture the Flag, not available. Went from not available to having a game that we might have out this summer within a year. Mountain Climber was one. Scooter Tag, Trans-Neptunian Objects. Patrick, my friend Patrick and I talked a little bit about that. Hire Scarecrow, a lava monster for All Hallows Eve. And then the Hostile Hospitality, which is one about Minnesota politeness, might be one that's coming out, or that I might put on the list and work on. It's been enough talk around it, generated about it, that it'd be something I could see doing. So that could almost been a whole movie in itself, or video in itself, just going over that. But there's at least 3 or 4 other things that I have in my phone, which I can't use right now, that certainly will be added to the new version of this list, starting tomorrow for New Year's. So yeah, that's where we've been, that's where we're going, and that's where we hope to go in years beyond. Really quick, I guess just some fun stuff. We went to the Mall of America and I was able to pick up a copy of Bonanza. I'm always going to call it Bonanza. There's no reason for it not to be called that, but came highly suggested, just more as a family game. I did a post earlier. You can see that Steve Kruger got us a sweet copy of a game that me and the girls have been enjoying quite a bit. And then I also got this Fire Tower, which is one that I saw, and I got it just because the box looked so pretty. It really stood out to me, and as much as I am for a sucker from like really nice looking like boards and artwork and stuff, I don't usually just buy a game for that reason. Don't have the money, don't have the time. But I did do some looking into it. This seems like a game that I would truly be interested in playing and having fun with, so I was able to find it on a really good sale, and I'm super ecstatic. So maybe we'll do a live play of it sometime, play something that's not our games and whatnot. But really looking forward to playing this, and I think it's just a beautiful looking game. So that is everything in a nutshell. Started with Skirmish, ended with Skirmish. Gonna get Graveyard Smash out by fall. More Prince of Skirmish out. Probably Capture the Flag is what you'll be seeing next. Some workshop updates. Nick Bennett, man, how have you been? Awesome. Happy New Year, buddy. So yeah, just wrapping up here now. But as we clean the shop, as we rearrange, if I do get that nice new table, or if I grab something new for the workshop, I'm going to try to be doing a little bit of that too, showing more of that creative side, and probably just someday have a live stream of me just as I'm assembling boxes and chatting with whoever pops in. I think that'd be a lot of fun as well. Get some guys over for that, and again, hoping to get, now that tonight officially the holiday seasons are over, getting back into having those bi-weekly updates or game nights will really, really help get us back on track and where I'd feel comfortable being. So, this went on forever. There's a lot, but I hope you enjoyed watching. It was really good seeing everybody hop in and say hello. I really appreciate that all the time. I hope you all have a safe and happy New Year's and that the year to come goes well for you. As always, I will see you next time.